Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Now I'm going to do a review of That's Pretty Clever Kids by Stronghold Games. This is for ages 5 and up. 2 to 4 players, takes about 15 minutes to play. So this is the children's version of the adult That's Pretty Clever. This is the German box. And this is originally ages 8 and up, 1 to 4 players, so it includes a solo mode, and it takes about 30 minutes. Twice as Clever is also ages 8 and up, and then they changed their age requirements to 14 and up to avoid product testing for Clever Cubed and Clever Forever, which we still have to play. You can check out our other videos on That's Pretty Clever and Clever Cubed, although we haven't done a video on Twice as Clever or Clever Forever yet. So like its adult counterparts, you're trying to score the most points. We're going to give an overview here first, and then we will give our rating and the reasons for our rating. It does come with pencils, but they're hard to see, and we have Sharpies. So like the other Clever games, you have different regions where you're trying to mark things off to get points. Here you're trying to collect stars. Whoever has the most stars wins. If there's a tie, they share the victory. We'll be rolling dice with different symbols on it that correspond to the backgrounds and the symbols in those areas. There are rules for each area. You have to go left to right in the balloons, left to right on the candles, and here you need a pair of candles at times. Left to right on the desserts, but you can choose any row you want to work on. You can work on multiple rows. So I can do this, donuts, and then I can go cupcakes, and I can go switch back and forth as long as I'm going left to right. Here you can cross off any present you want. There is no restrictions on what, so I can cross off this purple present if I want to in the middle here. You do get bonuses like in the other games. So if I cross off this donuts, I'll need 2 dice with donuts on it. I can cross off then a candle in the red area going in sequence. So turns are pretty simple. The active player rolls 5 dice, and the dice that the player doesn't use, the other players get to use them. And so when you select dice, you must select dice of the same background. So I can do these balloons, for instance, but look, I have to start here with a red balloon. So I can't use these. You can't skip. It'd be nice to use this cupcake or this cake, but I need pairs. So this is actually good that this happened. I rolled all 5 dice, and I have no dice that I can use. So it says here in the rules that you can, the active player can re-roll until they can at least get 1 die they can use. So I'm going to re-roll. Now I got some wilds. That's nice. The wilds correspond to any background that you want. So I can make 2 cakes, for instance. I can do a whole bunch of balloons, which I think I will do. Now here's the interesting thing. I'll point out here something. So if I do the balloons, I'm going to do the red here. So I cross it off. Then I do the purple balloon, and then I get a bonus green, which I'll take in a moment. And then I'll use it for the green here. And then I can use the purple, and look, I get a star. And you're supposed to circle the stars at the end of the game, but we're going to do it now. Now I get my bonus green. I can do any present I want here. I'll just go with this one. Now Julie has this die that's left over, but she can't use it because she needs a pair of cakes. Now let's say it was a situation like this. I rolled this, and I already had the red, and I circled those 3. I cross off those 3. Julie cannot use the die of the background color, any other player, if we're playing with a 3rd or 4th player. So you cannot use the die of the same background color of the active player. So Julie, even though Julie could use the heart, because I used yellow this turn, she can't use that die, and she couldn't use this one either, so she wouldn't get to do anything as a non-active player. And then she would get the dice, and she would roll them. And you keep on going until one area is completely filled in. So you have this example here. The game ended when all the balloons were filled in. This player had 8 stars, this player had 5. And we had this one right here.
Oh, this is the game we played.
Yeah.
7 for David and 5 for me.
Okay. Well, the point is, both games ended here with balloons, I guess. This doesn't always happen. This almost ended here with the dessert.
Yep.
So when you do fill in a whole section, you don't play an equal number of turns, although the non-active players do get to use any dice that the active player then used before the game ended. All right, so let's take a look at our
Okay.
review or our rating.
Our rating.
So we both said 7, usually willing to play with children.
Yes.
As adults, we both said it would be a 6. We'll play if in the mood. So if you want to play a real quick roll and write game, and we don't want to think too hard, because the original clever and twice as clever, these are fine. When we did our review of Clever Cubed, it's so pushes you to do it doesn't have as many options.
Right.
It's very restricting. We wouldn't play this one as much.
No.
But again, these take a little bit longer if we want to play a quick roll and write. This does scratch the
But
itch.
we also haven't tried Clever Forever yet either.
Yeah, we haven't tried that
So
one
we have
yet.
to try that one out.
All right, so let's see our reasons for why it's a 7.
Okay.
So it's a simpler and quicker version of the original with engaging theme. The reason why it's engaging is kids like to think about parties.
Sure, and there are cute little animals on there.
Yeah, that they'll enjoy it. They'll enjoy the colors. Surprisingly strategic. For instance, if I know I might take certain dice to prevent Julie from getting something to end the game, if I'm paying attention, or to get a star, or if I might take certain ones of the same background, only fill in maybe one, but just to prevent her from using those background dice. So there actually is some more, it might be more player interaction than the original at times.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's an excellent introductory roll and write. So this is something, if you want to, even adults, you want to teach them a roll and write without a lot of little rules and things to remember. This is
agree.
great. It does require adult supervision. So if you're playing with a child, especially if it is a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
a parent's going to take several repetitions unless they're really, really bright 5-year-old. You know, they're gifted and talented range. It's going to take a lot of repetitions before they get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it gets to another neutral hero. So challenging rules and playing time. The first time we played this, it did take 15 minutes, and it could take longer for children. So I do not recommend this for children who have not played many games. You don't start out with this game.
That's a good point.
You want to play other games first to teach taking turns and other things before you go to something like this, because there's just enough rules here.
Yeah.
And you probably would want to play with a pencil with an eraser, because I could see a child making a mistake.
Oh, sure.
And then you're like, oh, you crossed off the wrong thing. And then it'd be upset.
Yeah.
So don't use markers with a child. So you might want to use pencils, but maybe, I don't know, pencils that have a little bit darker, because we have bright light here. And if you use pencils on this, at least these pencils, you might need to have a number 2 pencil that's a little
Right,
darker.
that's what I'm thinking.
A little darker.
With a nice eraser on
And a
it.
nice eraser. So I said ages 5 and up only if it's a 5-year-old that has experience playing games, and if they don't have much experience playing games, they need to be in the gifted and talented range, I think, to start out with this. Okay, so it's difficult to differentiate blue and green circles in low light. So when we were playing this, we're like going, which one's blue and green? And we had to turn on extra light to see it. Here you can see it fine.
Yeah.
And then the pencils are kind of, the pencils that it comes with are ineffective. It wasn't worth trying to use them. Okay, let's see what Julie has to say.
All right. I think it's a solid kids dice game based off the original. I think the art is really cute. It's very happy. Like David said, it's difficult to tell the green from the blue on the dice. I said the dice, he said this.
Oh yeah, I can see your
But the
point on
dice
that.
could be a little challenging.
I can see that at times too. Now let me show it on the other camera here. It's kind of hard to.
Now there you can see a little bit better. But if the light isn't bright enough,
Yeah.
what's nice, the only way
Well, you
I
have the
found
symbols, though.
the symbols. That helped a ton, was the symbols.
Yeah. But it's good that you pointed it out, because I pointed out the circles.
Thank you. Younger players might need to team up with an adult.
Yeah,
So I
good
do
point.
think you could play with a 5-year-old if they're playing with mom or dad or an older sibling or uncle, whatever. They could do it very well.
No, you're right about that. That's a good strategy, that you do play 2 parents, and the 5-year-old teams up with a parent.
Yep.
And you don't. So I was saying that adult supervision, that you have the child do it independently. No, I think partnering up's the way to go then.
Leave it to the mom.
Yeah.
And I did think, I said, not too sure if a 5-year-old won't get too bored or frustrated. And I think that teaming up with a parent or an adult person will help with that. But I still think if it's not going kind of, they're going to be like, okay, well, it's not my turn. I didn't get to use a dice, so this isn't fair. And they might get a little
Well, it might
upset.
happen. It just depends on their maturity with playing games.
Yeah.
Are they able to take turns?
Yeah.
Can they deal with downtime? And that's why I'm saying this is a more challenging game.
I agree.
For that reason.
I agree.
They have to be experienced. Again, it's not something you start out with like Candyland, okay? No. You just draw a card and move, okay? That's the whole point of that game, is to teach colors and taking turns.
Exactly.
There's no strategy whatsoever.
So you're right. They do have to have some experience or be with an adult.
So this is, if you have a young person in your life that's used to playing games, this is a must-have. If you're not too sure that they can handle this much challenge, then you definitely need to play as partners, as you suggested.
Thank you.
All right. So thanks for watching.
Thanks so much, you guys. We hope you had fun, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.